Hey guys, this is Jay Thomas with the next section of Digital Greed. This is another one of the first sections where I'm just describing some ideas that I think you should be keeping in the back of your mind throughout the rest of the series. So this one's going to be concerning stages and properties of speculative bubbles. So let's get into it. So a lot of times, something like, let's say the housing bubble, like around 2008, or the tech bubble of 2000, or the cryptocurrency bubbles of 2013 or 2017. Whether you want to call those a bubble or an adoption wave for cryptocurrency, it's up to you, but the actually general pattern is very similar. So the first one is you want to know like the exact sector going through a bubble. Housing, tech stocks, cryptocurrency. There's also a 3D printing stock bubble, or like marijuana stocks kind of have a tendency of going through these bubbles or adoption waves. So that's, you kind of want to know what sector is going through one of these speculative bubbles. Obviously, this book is about cryptocurrency, so maybe let's think about this in the eyes of someone trading cryptocurrency. Next, after that, is you want to figure out the initial source of demand. So who are the people originally buying cryptocurrencies and what were they for? So maybe end of 2020, it was a lot of institutional investors buying into Bitcoin as a store of value. So that could be your initial source of demand. That ends up pushing the price up until it's breaking new record highs, which spurs more people to buy in. And that's the feedback loop, number 3 here. What's the feedback loop that is expanding or fueling the speculative bubble? So in cryptocurrency, a lot of times that is new record highs on Bitcoin or Ethereum or a different coin spur people to write news articles about those prices rising, and it kind of pulls more people in. They get interested, they want to buy some, and by more people buying it, it pushes the price higher, which causes more people to write news articles about it. So that's the feedback loop that is kind of growing and expanding the speculative bubble. And so a lot of times the key to kind of knowing where you are in the cycle is to figure out that feedback loop and then figure out what can stop that feedback loop or when it stops. And as soon as that ends is when you want to get out, essentially. And then number 4 is similar assets within the same bubble. So if you have the sector, let's say cryptocurrency, maybe it starts with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hits a new record high. A lot of people buy in. And then let's say Ethereum starts going up, breaks new record highs, or Dogecoin, or Cardano, or a different coin. So there's a bunch of different cryptocurrencies. And oftentimes what happens is that the market leaders, let's say Bitcoin, will go up first. It pulls money into Bitcoin, and then people diversify into other very similar assets within that bubble, assuming they will kind of do the same thing as that market leader. So that's an important part of that. And you can look at the dynamics between the market leader Bitcoin and then the other assets within, so like Ethereum, Litecoin, Cardano, that type of stuff, and figure out how that can give you hints to where you are in the stages of the bubble. So, main stage of the bubble, number 1, initial source of demand, causes price to begin to rise. So let's look at this just through the cryptocurrency lens. So you have late 2020, a lot of institutions buying Bitcoin as a store of wealth, similar to gold. That's a good premise. A lot of them were doing that. Next step, rising prices encourage more speculative short-term traders to enter the market. So a lot of people see institutions buying. Bitcoin crossed $20,000 a coin, which was higher than the peak in 2017. It caused a lot of news articles to be written about Bitcoin. So this brings in more short-term traders that are trying to make money just off the price action. They might not believe in the long-term store of wealth of Bitcoin or using it as a currency or whatever some other people use it for. They just want to make money. So those news articles are spurring more people to buy in. More news causes more people to buy in. They buy coins, pushing the price higher, which causes more news articles to be written about Bitcoin. So it kind of feedback loop expands, bringing more and more people in. Next stage is that riskier assets within the bubble rise last with the largest percentage gains, and this kind of indicates the top. So what we saw lately was that, so Bitcoin kind of started it all off. Ethereum was next, and then we had like Cardano, we had like Ripple go up. So a bunch of those other coins that are not the top, but within like the top 20 or 25, those started rising quickly. And then as the bubble progresses, that rise expands into more and more speculative coins. So let's say Dogecoin may have been one of those. It was certainly more speculative than the top ones a couple months ago, but well, maybe you like Dogecoin, so maybe a different example. So any coin like in the top, let's say 100 or 200, that's not within the top 20, those are definitely more speculative, but those start rising, and those can actually, their percentage gain can be a lot higher than the market leaders because they start with a much lower market capitalization. So as the bubble progresses, more and more speculative ones start to rise, and then oftentimes we can figure out the later stages of a bubble when the most speculative coins of them all are the ones rising quickest because people are just chasing. They want as much money as they can possibly make. They're rushing into certain coins just hoping to make money. They don't care about the fundamentals. They just want to make money on a really, really, really short-term frame. And right now, this is like early May 2021. We are seeing some coins like this that in most periods of the market people would ignore, but because it seems like an easy way to make quick money, and there are so many short-term traders who are jumping into those coins hoping to make as much as they can as quickly as possible. And then after that, eventually the feedback loop ends and the bubble ends and pops and prices go down. It's never easy to tell, but a lot of times you can tell when the more speculative coins are rising extremely fast and the market just kind of stops making sense for a little while. Of course, a lot of times that can be just like a temporary top, and then the market cools off and then it continues again a few months later. No two bubbles are exactly the same, but it's a general trend that I think is important to just keep in the back of your mind throughout the rest of the book. Hope you're enjoying the videos so far, and it will be one more of these general ideas and then moving into trading with the game.